Chapter 77. Bone Wings, Rumble. Around the Dinglong sect, earthquakes erupted intensively as a large mountain crumbled down. Outside the mountain gate, countless cultivators who had heard about it, but were not allowed to enter, immediately retreated, again and again. Isn't it cracking the chess game? What's with all the earthquakes? Something happened to the Dinglong sect, and it even opened the mountain ceiling formation. Something must have happened inside. What a strong earthquake. Quick, retreat, quick. The outside of the Dinglong sect was in chaos. Inside the Dinglong sect was also in chaos. Ding Rui's face changed drastically, anxiously looking at the chess world, but apart from seeing the dragon vein, she couldn't see anything else at all. What the hell had happened? Rumble. In the midst of the great earthquake around, the cultivators of the Yuron Valley were also constantly dodging the countless debris falling. What happened? Is it related to that floating island? Some cultivators were in the midst of anxiety. Boom! With a steep bang, the Dinglong sect's mountain ceiling formation exploded open, and countless rubbles that surrounded the formation immediately fell. A crowd of cultivators quickly dodged and fled amongst themselves. The Dinglong sect's great formation has broken open. It's possible to go out. Hurry up. Big earthquake outside too. What the hell happened? The four directions of the Dinglong sect were in chaos. The huge earthquake made countless cultivators tired of hiding and fleeing, looking at the floating island in the midst of the shaking, revealing a look of surprise. Shoo! In the distance, the Divine Mechanism Battalion flying boat quickly shot towards the Dinglong sect. Faster! Faster! Li Haoran droned. Shoo! The speed of the flying boat reached its maximum. In the middle of the chess world, Long Wanqing tried to collect the dragon vein with the dragon drawing jade. But, after several unsuccessful attempts, she became more and more anxious. All around, that tsunami rushed to the sky. The storm was violent, and the body of the dragon vein was in the midst of rapid twisting. Guhai was like a maggot stinging on it, desperately extracting the power of the dragon vein. Buzz. The Guhai trembled slightly. Collect. Guhai probed his hand to collect the bone net emerging from his palm, and instantly jumped away from the side of the dragon vein, rolling power churning in his body. Guhai had an uncomfortable feeling. The 1,000th of the power fed back by the absolute life blade was absorbed by the bones. The rolling power piled up, and the bones had a feeling of reaching their limits. The power of the Earth Dragon vein was too huge. The piling up of the bones' power was only a cumulative amount of power, but it could not undergo a qualitative change, piling up in the body. In the long run, it would burst itself. A qualitative change had to occur in order to absorb more. Qi count. I need qi. Guhai showed a hard look on his face. Guhai stopped absorbing the power of the dragon vein, but the dragon vein was manic at the moment, still twisting non-stop. A miserable scream occurred from Long Wanqing. Guhai quickly pounced over, only to see Long Wanqing being sent flying by the dragon vein. Pa! Guhai hugged the crashing and flying Long Wanqing. Quickly. Dragon invoking jade. Dragon invoking jade. Long Wanqing anxiously pointed at the sphere that fell and flew out. Swoosh. Steeply, high in the sky, a black figure shot out, also rushing towards the sphere in midair, the dragon-inducing jade. Not good. Guhai's foot slammed down. Boom. With an extremely powerful speed, he instantly rushed up. Huiyu. Steeply, Guhai grabbed the dragon-inducing jade sphere and fell down with Long Wanqing. And at this moment, the black figure did not grab the dragon-inducing jade and steeply struck towards Guhai with a palm. Boom. A huge palm dome, carrying the power to break everything, as if it was going to completely shatter Guhai. Go. Long Wanqing steeply let out a loud shout and threw out a small blue ball. Boom. The moment the small blue ball came into contact with the palm dipper, it exploded and shattered the palm dipper. Guhai and Long Wanqing landed on the ground. Long Wanqing hugged the citation dragon jade, and steeply, a golden light shield formed around her body, enveloping herself. Gu Hai, however, looked at the opposite figure with a guarded face. Meng Tai, Gu Hai said with a cold face. Meng Tai held the wind chime and looked towards Long Wanqing with a staring frown. Hallmaster, you're really slow. You haven't incorporated the dragon vein into the dragon drawing jade until now. Long Wanqing's eyelids fluttered furiously. You are Meng Tai. You've been guarding this place just now, trying to rob my dragon-inducing jade. Long Wanqing angrily shouted. After half a day of nabbing it, I couldn't even nab it. I'm anxious for you. Give me the dragon-inducing jade. I'll do it. Meng Tai sneered. Long Wanqing's face changed. Meng Tai, you are the Earth Helmsman of the One Piece Hall. Do you want to be like Ding Rui, committing offenses from below? Long Wanqing coldly said. Hallmaster, you're in mortal form now, and Gu Hai is unable to set up a formation. He's only an innate realm. Do you think that the two of you will be a match for me? Give it to me now and I can let you live, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. While speaking, Meng Tai was on guard against Gu Hai all the time. Long Wanqing's face was gloomy as she probed her hand. Who you? Steeply, a box appeared in her palm. Gu Hai, use this blade to block him, Long Wanqing said in a deep voice. Gu Hai was slightly puzzled. Although I've had my cultivation sealed, but I still have treasures for you to use. This is what my sister stole from Grandpa's treasury for me, Long Wanqing said. Meng Tai's face sank. Snap. Gu Hai quickly opened the box. Boom. Steeply, endless bloodlight rushed straight out from the box, and in an instant, the four directions of heaven and earth were dyed red in general. Buzz. A steep wave of blood power rushed straight into Gu Hai's body. In an instant, it dyed Gu Hai's entire body red in general. A blood-red aura emerged down his body, and a bloodthirsty thought rushed straight into his mind. What kind of blade is this? What a powerful force! Gu Hai was surprised. This is an imitation sword of the blood prison. Because it's a good imitation, Grandpa collected it. You use it first. It can raise your power to the Yuanying realm for a short period of time, Long Wanqing shouted. Just an imitation knife. Gu Hai was slightly stunned. Blood prison. Meng Tai's face changed. You block Meng Tai. I've found the trick. I'll be able to collect the dragon vein soon, Long Wanqing said in a deep voice as she grasped the dragon-inducing jade. All right. Gu Hai faintly burst into a bitter smile. As he spoke, the blood knife in his hand slashed towards Meng Tai. Boom. In the void, a blood-colored saber aura appeared steeply. The saber aura was more than 100 times stronger than the one Gu Hai had chopped out with the absolute life saber. The saber chopped out as if it was a heavenly brand new, tearing through the void. And wherever it reached, the mountains and rocks on the island suddenly exploded into pieces. Meng Tai's face changed as he flipped his hand and took out a long sword to chop. Boom. The sword chi and the blood blade chi collided, exploding the void with a tremor. Good sword, Gu Hai said in surprise. At this moment, Gu Hai was covered in the color of blood, and as he stepped forward, he felt like his entire body was filled with power, and his speed instantly increased by countless. Boom. Once again, a sword chopped towards Meng Tai. Meng Tai chopped at him with a sword. Boom. It's not bad that the imitation of the blood prison actually boosted your power that much. Meng Tai wrapped one hand around Wind Chime and said with a hideous face, Roar. Gu Hai stepped forward and pushed his blade astral against Meng Tai. On the other side, Long Wanqing grabbed the dragon-inducing jade and was facing the dragon vein, releasing a golden light in general. Earth Dragon Vein, enter my dragon jade, Long Wanqing shouted. Rumble. A suction force was released from the dragon-inducing jade, as if it was going to inhale the Earth Dragon Vein into it. But the Earth Dragon Vein was too huge. The dragon-inducing jade couldn't be shaken at all, and Long Wanqing was in a state of anxiety. Drink. Meng Tai let out a loud shout and crashed through the Guhai. Boom. The blood knife only slightly deviated and once again chopped towards Meng Tai. As the blade chopped out, the sky was filled with blood light, and a rolling blood-colored storm swept towards Meng Tai. Whew! Meng Tai hugged Wine Chime and jumped, instantly flying high into the sky. The Blood Blade gang couldn't even touch Meng Tai anymore. The Blood Blade is awesome. It actually forcefully raised your strength and speed to the Yuanian realm, but, in the end, you're only at the innate realm cultivation. Innate realm, you can't fly. You'll never be my opponent, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. Guhai's face turned cold, and his foot slammed down. Boom! As if it was a cannonball, the powerful jumping force made Guhai jump high into the air. Charging straight at Meng Tai, the bloody sword waved the blade astral, once again chopping towards Meng Tai. Meng Tai, however, his eyes lit up, and a hint of a sinister color appeared at the corner of his mouth. With a short stature, Meng Tai was suddenly a little lower than Guhai, and slammed his sword towards the top. Boom! The swords collided, and under the powerful force, Meng Tai was instantly knocked towards the place of the sea below, while Guhai was knocked high into the sky by the force of this backlash. Swoosh! Guhai's face steeply changed as he was slammed high into the air. Ha 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 ha! Now, you have nowhere to land. What's the use of you having a blood knife? Are you still at my mercy? Meng Tai rushed up to the sky with a hideous face. A sword chopped towards the sky, as if it was going to cut Guhai, who was falling in mid-air, in half. Guhai grasped the blood knife and fell from the sky, because there was nowhere to focus on. Even if he swung the knife, he did not have much power, and he was about to be chopped up by Meng Tai's sword. Long Wanqing, who was unable to collect the dragon vein from the side, was also anxious and turned her head to look, and immediately saw Guhai's shocking scene. This scene, in Long Wanqing's opinion, Guhai was finished, there was nowhere to land, and he could only let Meng Tai chop him down. Unless you can fly, otherwise, die. The strength of the long sword in Meng Tai's hands skyrocketed even more. Not good, Long Wanqing screamed in alarm. Meng Tai's face showed a scowl. The Guhai high in the sky looked like it was about to be chopped in two. There. Steeply, the clothes on Guhai's back instantly ripped open, and from above the skin on his back, a pair of 10 feet long white gigantic wings, a pair of bone wings, emerged in an instant. Boom! The bone wings flapped violently, and Guhai's figure came to a steep stop. Who? Meng Tai's sword she instantly cut empty. What? Meng Tai's face changed. Long Wanqing also looked at the wings on Guhai's back in shock. How did he have wings? The huge wings stabilized Guhai's stance and violently flapped in reverse. Steeply Guhai shot down, and the bloody blade blasted towards Meng Tai. Meng Tai's long sword fell short just now, and for a moment, he was unable to counter-chop with his full strength, so he could only hastily block the blood knife. Boom! The swords collided again, and with a loud bang, Meng Tai's long sword exploded into pieces, and the blade energy shot out in all directions, instantly tearing through Meng Tai's entire body. No, Meng Tai's face changed as he released his astral energy and hugged Feng Suzaku, protecting him with all his might. Boom! The bloody knife slashed through Meng Tai's body, and above Meng Tai's back, a huge bloody mouth was torn out, and within the hideous bloody mouth, Sen white bones were revealed. Snap! Guhai landed beside Long Wanqing, and the bone wings behind him abruptly disappeared. What? Long Wanqing blankly at Guhai's smooth back. Where are the wings? Could it be that my eyes are blurred? What a powerful blood knife, Guhai marveled. On the other side, Meng Tai was covered in blood, holding the wind chime, and looking at Guhai with an ugly face. Guhai, I still underestimated you. You can fly too, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. Rumble. The void shook, and the earth dragon vein struggled more and more strongly, as if it was going to shatter this small world at any time. "Hall Master, why isn't it ready yet?" Gu Hai said, anxiously. Dragon Head, not far away. Long Wanqing revealed a puzzled look. Meng Tai looked at the dragon, inducing jade in Long Wanqing's hand. A hint of greed flashed in his eyes, but his face sank when he saw Gu Hai grasping the blood sword on the side. The wound on his back was still bleeding, and he knew that it was useless to freeze. "Windbell, let's go." As he spoke, he carried Windbell and flew high into the sky. "Catch them. Don't give them a chance to escape," Long Wanqing called out to Gu Hai. Gu Hai faintly burst into a bitter smile and said, "Hall Master, do you really think I'm at the Yuanying realm?" Gu Hai didn't chase, just now when he seriously injured Meng Tai. It was just a fluke, a series of surprises to have an effect. And it was the first time he used his bone wings. Where was the flexibility of flying at the Yuanying realm? If the stalemate continued, whether it was a loss or a win, no one knew. But, "Don't give him a chance to run away," Long Wanqing said anxiously. Gu Hai shook his head. There was still a Ding Rui outside. Gu Hai didn't want to listen to Long Wanqing's haphazard command. "Arm!" The dragon vein let out a roar, and once again twisted crazily. For a moment, the sea island, where Gu Hai and Long Wanqing were at once crumbled and opened up. "Not good. This chess game's small world is going to collapse." Gu Hai's face changed, and he immediately picked up Long Wanqing and jumped towards the distance. Around Dinglong sect, the earthquakes were incomparably dense, and the mountains and rivers in all directions crumbled and turned into a pair of ruins, with countless cultivators in the midst of running around. Ding Rui stood on top of the floating island with an anxious look on her face. "It's going to break open. This chess world is going to break. Long Wanqing, why haven't you collected the dragon vein yet? Once there's no chess game world seal, this dragon vein escapes. It escapes. Don't you have the dragon drawing jade? Hurry up." Ding Rui was anxious. However, standing outside the floating island, Ding Rui could do nothing. Boom. Steeply in the distance, a stormy wind struck, and a huge object steeply stopped beside the floating island. However, it was the flying boat of the Divine Mechanism Battalion. Li Haoran stood on top of the flying boat, his face showing anger as he glared at Ding Rui on the floating island. "Ding Rui, you old bitch. You actually lied to me," Li Haoran said in an angry, chilling voice. Ding Rui turned her head and her face changed.